Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask Howard Lee and Joe Mavretic. A recent report indicated that 40% of the graduates from a Durham Charter School received diplomas without meeting the state's minimum graduation requirements, bringing into question just how well charters are being held to the same standards as traditional K through 12 schools. Is this just an isolated case, or does our charter school advisory board need to become more active in overseeing these schools? Joe Mavretic?
Well, I'm going to defer most of this to Howard because he knows a lot more about this issue than I do. But let's try to put this into perspective. You have about 90,000 students in charter schools in North Carolina today. And you have one school that failed an inspection and has graduated students that didn't meet the state. If you look at other public schools, I suspect the numbers are about the same. I think what the board did, their board did, was to eliminate the high school program and keep the K-8, and I think that's appropriate in this case. We need to pay attention, but we ought not to get pushed around by some fairly small numbers.
Now, there are more than 90,000 charter school students in the state, are there not?
I think it's about 95,000.
Yeah, is it 91?
Today. Right. Now, next year, there'll be 100,000.
Yeah. Howard, what's your take on this?
Well, this having a school that graduated students to this extent is rare. This, to me, I think, is the worst case I've ever seen, but it's also a high school. Many of our charter schools are not high schools. They are either elementary or they're middle schools. And so you don't have the same graduation concerns that you would have in this one. So this one stands out for that reason alone. Second, I have long felt that we have not done a good job of providing oversight through DPI on charter schools. But also, you got to recognize we have such a small staff in that charter school office that there's no way they can give adequate oversight to charter schools. And for example, we have 168 charter schools on the ground right now. The last time I checked, I think we had something like 3 or 4 people in the charter school office, and these schools are spread all over the state. So I think we've got a serious problem of recognizing that the more we expand charter schools and we don't expand the office of charter school staff and we expect to have oversight, we're just playing with fooling ourselves.
Help me with this. Why do we have a separate charter school advisory board, separate from the State Board of Education and separate from the state superintendent? Why is that?
Personally, I've never understood the reason for that because I thought we were approaching charter schools as being public schools, just charter public schools, and I always felt that they should come under the staff of the State Board of Education and be supervised by the DPI staff. But while we have this separate piece, I think has been more of a compromise of trying to satisfy those people who are opposed to charter schools and those who see them as being a key. I'm a very strong charter school advocate because I think we have some very successful charter schools in the state. And I think we ought to hold those up as models and examples of success we can have with charter schools.
Final word,
let's face the fact that this is going to be a public school state for a long time. We're talking about 1.5 million students in our public schools, and that's where I think we're going to have to spend more of our time.
Final word, Joe Mavretic.
Well, Howard's exactly right, because the charter schools right now in North Carolina, if you aggregated them, would be the 3rd largest system in the state. And to go back to why we have this separate body, it's because there was so much animosity from the public school advocates against charter schools that you really should not have put their oversight under the same crowd that despised them and didn't want them to occur in the first place. I think the competition now is improving.
Interesting. Well, thank you for watching the Afterspin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.